Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new edition of Pod by the Bay, proudly presented by Homefield Apparel. Make sure you go to homefieldapparel.com for all of your merch needs. If you haven't done so on your first order, use BAE25 for 15% off that very first order, or you can use the affiliate link in the description of this podcast. Homefieldapparel.com, softest shirts in the world. Great merch, great corduroy hats. And once again, Christmas is still creeping up. Hanukkah is creeping up. Make sure you're prepared for all the loved ones in your family. Go to homefieldapparel.com. BAE 25 for 15% off your first order. Folks, quick recap of that UNT game. So USF beats North Texas in a sold out stadium 63-36. And for that first quarter, it was horrendous. 3 USF turnovers. Collin, we sent you there. We're in a group text together, and everybody was mad at you for being there for
And then they
good
were
reason. And then it quieted down, which is
amazing
funny.
how that works.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean we're good. So I go there. First of all, sell out my butt. A lot of empty seats in a stadium that seats 30,100. I'd say they drew mid to high mid 20s. I'll comfortably say mid 20s. I won't say high 20s, but they comfortably drew mid 20s. Um, North Texas is very much like an art school. They've got a great music program. They have, they're not necessarily what you would think of as a traditional state of Texas school. And so the tailgating experience, I would say, was not exactly what we would call a rager if they were at Ray J. It was nice. I mean, everybody seemed to be having fun. It was hotter than hell too. Like just Texas hot, which is a weird kind of hot. It's like different than like our kind of humid hot. It's in some ways it's better and in some ways it's worse. Um, but there was definitely a good atmosphere there. The fans were loud. People were very excited. People were pumped up for this game. Really difficult though, because like literally the campus is on one side of a highway and you have like two bridges to go over I-35. Like it's basically like if your campus, if USF bordered I-4, but like the stadium was on the other side of I-4. I mean, that's literally what we're looking at with the setup. It's kind of weird. So it was hard for people to get in the stadium. The stadium itself was not prepared for that many people. Operations wise, absolute nightmare. People were in line far too long trying to get people through. Um, the metal detectors and everything like that was just kind of ridiculous. They weren't prepared for it, and they weren't prepared off the field, and they weren't prepared on the field either. Nate, I think you saw it. We were down 21-14 at half. I put in the Ponderosa chat at halftime. I'm like, no, I didn't bet because I won't bet when I'm on a game that I'm on a credential on. I just don't think that's right. I have an ethical problem with that. Yeah. So I don't do that. But I put in the Ponderosa chat. I'm like, we're winning this game. There's 0.0% doubt. Now, did I think we'd win by 27 or whatever it was? And no, but I did have no doubt that we were going to win the football game at halftime. They just weren't ready. We made mistakes. In the first half, we beat ourselves. And it became clear middle of the second quarter that USF had settled down. They were able to move the ball efficiently, and they were also able to get the defense off the field. And that was good. And a ton of offense. This team can score with anybody in the country. Yes, I said we. Okay, you can drop it in the chat all you want. Like I don't hide things. I said we. I was there rooting for USF despite being in the press box as a journalist. I wanted USF to win. And they did, and they played, fantastic football. And this team is offensively one of the best in the country. Just yards and points aren't the best way to necessarily assess an offense. But even if you go by yards per play, points per drive, success rate, some of the other ways that you would measure a team, this team is one of the best offenses in college football. And defensively, they can get off field and they can hit people. And I absolutely don't have any doubt that they can win the league. And it seems like 2 weeks in Memphis will be the biggest test. I just need everybody to stay healthy between now and then.
Yeah, I was never worried, right? That first quarter, USF was able to move the ball and then just stupid turnovers. I think that the throw at the end of the first quarter may have been the biggest frustration throw that this offense has thrown. Like that was just I, I am going to make something happen. Obviously, didn't happen. Alex Golesh said in the press conference on Tuesday, "What the offense is doing is bullshit," and he's frankly true. Way too many turnovers against good teams. It's going to come back to bite them in the butt. It's clear Charlotte and North Texas are not good teams. In 2 weeks, eh, we may have issues if they turn the ball over 3 times in the first quarter. And it was such a juxtaposition. We talked about it all week leading up to that game on Friday, how effective North Texas was in converting turnovers into points on the ensuing drive. And they did not do that but once, I believe, on Friday night, while USF converted
Yeah.
4 of their 5 turnovers into points. That complete, like literal script flipped of the situation. USF going into the game, 2 of 11 on touchdowns after turnovers. North Texas was 9 of 11 on touchdowns after turnovers. So I think that obviously was the key here. I said it on the podcast, staked my claim. They don't turn the ball over, they win by 20. They turned the ball over, but made it back even and still won by almost 30. So, like, this is what this team can do. It sounds stupid because they put up 60, 50, and 60 points, but the team has not hit its max potential yet this season.
100% agree.
And that is scary and funny and alluring all at the same time. Like, Gola said it on Tuesday. You have 15 possessions. You better put up 70 points.
So, yeah, and 15 possessions is insane in a college game because that means the other team gets 15 possessions and then you got 30 possessions, and that means you're running 2-minute possessions for 60 minutes of football, which is bad shit. If you look at Bill Connolly's numbers right now, we have now everybody's played week 6, which means all the priors, all the preseason assessments are now washed away. So this is strictly based on the data for the 2025 season. No preseason assessments built in. USF, according to him, has the 39th best offense in football. They are the 39th best team, and they are 50th defensively. Take away the turnovers, and you're looking at a stretch of basically between the second quarter against Charlotte and the first quarter against, or was there one early in the second quarter against North Texas, or were they all 3 in the first quarter? I forget. Anyway, whatever
All three
that
in the first
stretch is,
quarter.
yeah, all 3 in the first quarter. So like if you basically take those 4 quarters where there were 7 total turnovers out, um, this team is unreal because I don't think they didn't have a turnover the first 2 weeks. They did turn it over at Miami. Um, Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. This team is so good. They're really, really good at football. And what the consistency, and we got into this a little bit with Rob on a podcast that you have to pay for. Um, the consistency of Golish being in year 3, this is where it pays off. This is where being in a system for a 3rd season pays off. This is what happens when you don't turn your coach over right away. You get in a situation like this and you have a good quality coach that is a system that has everybody bought into said system. Nobody panics. And then, Golish said something in the press conference afterwards. He said he went up to Byram after the 3rd turnover, and Byram smiled at him and said, "Coach, just call the next play." I mean, what what else do you want? You know what I mean? That whole next play mentality, that is the epitome of that next play mentality that everybody preaches. This team lives it. And you can see it in how they execute, about how they go about their business. Um, it's a joy to watch. I've never seen him more mad at a player than he was at Jalen Schuler post game. And if you think about it, he's now what, 26 and 6, 32 games into his USF career. Was that the worst thing we've seen? Like the most objectionable thing we've seen a player do, who, by the way, did score a touchdown? That's
Besides like
discipline.
Besides
punching
the
a
player
That's
teammate.
amazing.
against
Besides,
UAB.
last
Oh,
year.
yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot
But
about
I
that.
mean,
That was bad. Yeah, yeah.
no one.
But in year 3, like, to be that far along in year 3 and halfway through it, the man has built a culture. They say that's the hardest
Mhm.
part of being a football coach is building a culture. And the culture that Alex Golesh has built is it is dissimilar to the success that Willie Taggart had. Willie had a very, very good teams, but they would certainly ride emotional waves, I think, a little bit more. And Quentin as a quarterback would ride emotional waves a little bit more. This team is just static, man. They're like a robot. It's like playing poker against a robot. And they're gonna make the right decision, they're gonna do the right thing, and it's a joy to watch, man. This is fun. Get on board, y'all. Go to the game on Saturday. Go to Memphis. Go book your tickets for Birmingham. Watch them just beat Birmingham into the ground. Like this is going to be so fun. Get on board.
Yeah. And it's just to kind of iterate points per possession, Golish takes another shot at Collin in the press conference on Tuesday about time of possession. So,
No. I've never said anything about time of possession. I said, can you hold the ball? I never said time of possession. I never bring up time of possession because that is a bullshit stat. I said, can you milk a clock late because you haven't had to do it yet against a quality opponent? The answer is
all
yes,
right,
buddy, because they did it
sure.
against Boise and they did it
So,
against Florida. I would never say time. You will never hear time of possession come out of these lips. Never. That was Leo. That was Leo from the Lakeland Ledger who said time of possession, and Alex ripped him for it, or somebody else. I think it was Leo, and and Alex ripped him for it in the press conference. So yeah, go ahead.
so 5 plays, 17 yards, 41 seconds, touchdown. Minute 9 seconds, touchdown. 24 seconds, touchdown. Let's see, 116 touchdown. That's the time of possession.
Pretty good.
And then uh, to your point, with 4:09 left in the fourth quarter, they got it all the way down to the UNT 9 and took a knee. That was a 4 minute. That's your 4 minute offense right there to ice a game. It could have been 70 if he was really wanted to be a dick.
Oh, I thought he was gonna do it.
Me too.
Brother. Oh, brother. I know he told all those players, the 1 yard line is the stop line. Like I know he was probably saying that, but like, oh, a 70 burger was just. I was lit, especially because I had joked that the in-game line went up to like over under 105.
Mm-hmm.
And I jokingly was like, "Yeah, hammer that under. That there's no way we're gonna reach that." And when it got close, I was like, "This would be a fun bad beat."
Yeah, and the way Chase
USF.
Garnett was running in the fourth quarter, I mean, why not give him a shot?
Yeah,
All right. USF now tied for 16th in the country, 36.2 points per game. But if you look at the schedules of all of those opponents, it is not close. Like we have by far played the most difficult schedule of those teams in front of us. That's for sure.
There you have it. Is there anything else from the North Texas game? We went viral again, so that's always fun. My ultimate goal is to just like have one banger tweet every game. I think we've been pretty consistent about it. Obviously, we had one go super viral this past weekend. So if you guys didn't see that, make sure you check it out.
I do have a comment on that in light of that.
Always.
I know we're going to be quick and efficient here. We as in the University of South Florida football journalists and fans and the whole program, we've done this song and dance before, where when you lose and you lose consistently, you look for outs to find a win. And so for every North Texas fan who was quote retweeting it or replying it saying you should have gone to class, am I right? USF academic, poo poo. You guys are a bunch of losers and dweebs. Get stuff in the locker, bitch. You lost 63-36 in your fucking Super Bowl, and you're talking about grammar? Go back to Conference USA, boo boo.
They were not ready for prime time, as I said, on the field.
You ran out of beer in the second quarter. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's just they weren't ready. You know, like this is USF 2007 all over again. We weren't ready to be one of the 10 best teams in the country, and they're not ready to be like the third best team in the American Conference right now. They're just not. Like on the field, off the field, they're not. They'll get there. You know, they got some opportunities. It's Texas. You can recruit Texas. You know what I mean? If they can find some money, if Steve Austin wills them a whole bunch of money, you know what I mean, when he passes away, like, I don't know, there's got to be some famous person that went to school there besides Stone Cold. Um, they'll find a way, but they're just not. They're not there yet. Memphis is there. That one scares me. FAU does not scare me. Um, but that's they're just at a different place in their journey. You know what I mean? And it's ironic because they've had a football program a hell of a lot longer than we have. But they're just at a different place in their journey right now.
Yeah. Moving ahead to FAU homecoming, 7:30 on ESPNU. The Owls come in at 3-3 under new head coach Zach Kitley, who was at the middle school in Lubbock for a long time. He was at the middle school in Lubbock in 2017 when USF beat the brakes off of them with a glorified running back at quarterback. If you guys don't recall that, so that's back-to-back weeks. USF is facing a guy who's already lost to USF. His offense is super cool and fun, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's quite the reflection of the USF offense, but it's pretty close and similar. I think it may be a little bit closer to the North Texas offense, but it's still a lot of fun. Their quarterback, Caden
Caden
Veltkamp,
Velkamp.
he
I got
is
Caden Velkamp. I got a lot on Caden Velkamp here.
he's
He
pretty
is
accurate.
Yes, but he throws picks. So when he throws
He
picks, they
he
are
do be
very
turning the ball
picky.
over.
He do be turning the ball over. Was at Western Kentucky for the last 3 years. Showed flashes where you go, wow, this kid can really sling it. Like looking like another one of that, white Mike. Who's the other kid? The kid who ended up
Bailey
in the
Zappi.
Patriots. Bailey Zappi, thank you. In that same progression of like WKU quarterbacks. So you definitely see it with flashes, but he 25 TDs, 10 picks last year, 14 TDs, 9 picks on what is certainly not a great team this year, but averaging 300 yards a game. And so they're going to sling it. Haven't played. You talk about ain't played nobody. They're kind of on the ain't played nobody all stars here. Got Maryland week 1, but then FAM, FIU. They did get Memphis already, and then Rice and UAB. So if you're putting up 300 yards against that schedule, can USF hold them to maybe 225, 230 or less? Can they keep them a point and a half per possession? I think is something that could reasonably happen this week for sure.
Yeah, he threw 4 picks at Maryland, and then he also threw 3 at FIU. So 7 of his 9 interceptions were in those 2
First two.
games.
Yeah.
His last 2, obviously, 2 wins at Rice, home for UAB, 6 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, completing about 70% of his passes. He likes to dot it up, kind of like last week with Drew Mistemaker. Loves the middle of the field, doesn't take deep shots too often. Is a little bit more accurate on the side outside the numbers, deep than Mestamaker was, but he'll make you earn it. Easton Messer is his go-to target. He has Messer has 53 receptions for 506 yards, so he's not the game breaker. 2 other guys have over 20 receptions as well for this team, but that's just kind of the offense. They're older. Golish mentioned that on Tuesday. The offensive line is a little bit bigger, but it's basically a brand new team from the one that the Bulls played last season under Tom Herman. So it's tough to kind of really gauge where they're at.
So first of all, I like Mestamaker. I think long term, I believe we're not playing North Texas next year, which I think is kind of nice actually because they're going to be, I think, a little bit better. He's got one receiver right now in Dorner who can play a little bit, but basically USF had everybody else on lockdown. When you're watching it up high, you can just see the Bulls' ability to get push on both sides. Offensive line and defensive line was very obvious. And then except for those short to intermediate routes, there was not a lot for Mestamaker to throw at downfield. Those guys were locked up, and by the time a route was able to develop down the field anyway, USF was really getting after it, and they were getting after it 4 too. It wasn't like they didn't have to bring a lot of heat. There were some spots where they decided to bring 5 or 6, especially on 3rd down. But it seemed like for the most part it was never really going to be a scare. The only thing that was scary was that when you give the ball away 3 times in a quarter, you're going to be gassed after that first quarter. And so those early possessions, if you can sort of write those off and then see, when they're got a more normal pace to the game, USF defense locked it up. Kind of see the same thing this week. USF doesn't turn the ball over, should not be in any trouble at all here. Um, you know, but and the other thing I think we got to talk about is that Byron Brown, and I was going to pull this, before the podcast. I'll probably write about it at some point this week. I would argue that there might not be a quarterback in the country that's more responsible for the outcome of their offense, good and bad, than Byron Brown. That
Yeah.
and it's mostly good. I see some of the turnovers and some of the other things, but I don't think it between his ability to run the ball and how much he throws it. Um, is anybody responsible for 60, 75, 70? There's some games probably a little more than 75% of the offense personally. Probably not a lot. I can't.
No.
This is like Jalen Daniels year 1 at Kansas, where they literally
Yeah.
had nothing else. You know what I mean?
That's the
And
first
it's
thing that
very
popped
similar.
into my head.
I was going to say, Trinidad Trem was, for a little bit there, was basically the entirety of Ole Miss's offense, but
Yeah, but
like
then they had
that's like the exception, though.
right. Yeah, for sure. But this guy, he just makes them go. And when he is good and does not turn the ball, and he's good a lot, even when he turns the ball over, he's good. Like, let's not, take that away. He's a good player. I don't see how anybody else, if USF runs out, could have a chance at Conference Player of the Year. Correct?
Mhm.
I mean, if we run the table here, there is 0.0% doubt he's Conference Player of the Year.
Oh, I don't even think it's if USF runs the table. I think it's like
might do it anyway. Yeah.
Like he is literally the best player in the conference right now, like by far. Like Retzlaff has been playing perfectly fine. Brandon Lewis perfectly fine. Horvath perfectly fine. They'll probably give it to Horvath because we got that going on right now. But like
Please.
Byron Brown is right now the best player in the American Conference. Like, dare I say, one of the best players in the country by far.
I called him Russell Westbrook. I called him Russell Westbrook in the American Conference. I did not mean current Russell Westbrook that can't get a job in the NBA. I mean,
he's with the Kings now. Give him show some respect to Russ.
Oh, he did get a min? Somebody signed him to a min deal?
Yeah, yesterday, the day before.
So I was rooting for I went to Clippers Nuggets game 1 playoffs this year in Denver, and Russ made that shot, sent it to overtime, and I'm literally sitting there going, shoot it. He made it. I was like, God damn it. I was rooting for the Clippers.
Yeah. He's Thunder Russ.
I'm talking Thunder triple-double MVP Russ is what I'm talking about, which is he is by far the dominant force on that team. He is like nothing you have seen, at that point there was nothing like Russell Westbrook at all. But he also led the league in turnovers the years that I think he was MVP. And that's what I'm talking about. Like Byram is just like such an impact and such a force. It's unlike anything else that we see. And so as he goes, this offense is going to. I trust this defense, though. I absolutely trust this defense. Do I trust them against Miami? Maybe not. But guess what? We ain't playing Miami to the playoff, but we'll deal with that when we get to the playoff. You know what I mean? Like there ain't nobody between here and the third week in December that we got to worry about with his defense, because if they stay healthy, they're going to beat some people. One thing I am a little concerned about: second best receiver. Nobody asked about it at the press conference today. Bad job by us. None of us can make it. But is Chaz Nemrod going to be able to go? If he can't go, should be fine this week. I'd rather him sit out this week and then play at Memphis. You're 22.5 point favorite for a reason this week. So.
And Jeremiah Koger kind of stepped up. I mean, the way the true freshmen have stepped up in major spots for this team so far, it's very, very happy, especially offensively. We've kind of harped on how hard it is for new wide receivers to learn this offense. And you're kind of seeing, Christian Neptune, Koger's getting a lot of run. It's nice to see them actually be able to contribute. Koger, 4 catches, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns on Friday night. It's nice to see, Alvon Isaac getting quite a bit of run. Nakai Davenport getting a lot of run with the injury to Cartavius Norton. So seeing the younger guys being able to step up and not seeing quite the drop off that you would usually expect out of going from a veteran to a younger guy has been nice. I think a little bit more stability in the offensive line. Another week to gel is going to help a lot. We'll see how that kind of plays out. The thing that I want to make everybody, this is like, I think I'm just going to make this a running bit. The thing that the stat that kind of pops out to me when you look at FAU. We love a scripted drive. I mean, there's the meme of yes, yes, now let's see what you do off script. FAU opening drives to game opening drives, FAU this season, turnover on downs against Maryland, touchdown versus FAMU, threw an interception at FIU, touchdown, 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 Memphis, Rice, UAB. On the flip side of that, defensively, Maryland punted, A&M punted, FIU punted, Rice scored, Memphis scored, Rice scored, UAB punted. So I think the
So
thing I'm getting at,
USF game is. So you're telling me USF game is the bet here?
yeah, for sure. Don't fret if they go down and score. They've done it 4 times in 6 games. Here's the real telling stat, and this is like it popped out to me. I was like, oh, there it is. That's the thing I'm looking for. Second half opening possessions. FAU on offense. Turnover on downs. Punt, 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 touchdown. Not great.
Great.
FAU's opponents' second half opening drives. Field goal at Maryland. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. We got adjustment problems in the second half here, folks. That's my thing this week. Nail your scripted drives, offensively, defensively, and you'll take care of business. Turn them over. FAU has only produced 2 turnovers defensively. I think they have 15 turnovers on offense alone, 11 of them being interceptions. They like to cough the ball up. Obviously, those 2, the FIU Maryland games, 7 interceptions alone on that one. Just be mindful. I think actually Maryland picked the ball off 6 times in that game. 2 other quarterbacks. Another quarterback, Zach Gibson, threw 2 picks as well. So real turnover prone program. They're not quite ready yet. I don't think they'll be ready for a couple of years, but be mindful.
Seems like they hired the right guy, though.
Oh, absolutely. I think in a couple of years we're going to see a lot of teams being like, I don't want to play Rice and FAU in the same season. Like that's just like annoying football. Like
and Army Navy.
Yeah. It's the passing version of what Army and Navy are.
It's triple,
and it's super annoying.
Assignment football. I mean, it's the only thing you do is just hat on hat and stick with your assignment. Something to keep in mind: Easton Messer did transfer over with Veltkamp from Western Kentucky. They've got a connection. So far this season, he has 53 catches for 506 yards. These are 2 guys that obviously that's your first cover. You know what I mean? If he's not necessarily like a wide speed guy, but you might see Ruck on him for a little bit.
He's Sean Atkins.
Just trying. What? He's Sean Atkins. He's Sean Atkins. And at this point, honestly, like we might just put Rucker on him. Even though he's generally lines up a little more inside, just to try and lock him. That's the guy you want, the first option that you're going to want to take away probably, and then force Veltkamp to throw the ball wide or to other people.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
And Veltkamp is on pace to set the single season completion percentage for FAU, just over 65%. So gets the ball out quick. He's only been sacked 6 times. Gets the ball out quick, fairly efficient, but he'll give you a couple. If you let him, he'll give it to you. So just defense just has to.
They lost the Shula Bowl.
Yeah, you gotta be on your P's and Q's a little bit defensively. But they should be able to kind of take care of business. And as we kind of wrap up, it's picks time. We'll have a special section for Collin here tonight. But just to recap, I mean, USF getting points at UNT was stealing money. That's just
second half. I just couldn't. Ethically, I couldn't pull the trigger. It was the only reason I didn't. Like there was just there was absolutely zero doubt in my mind we were going to blow them out.
The Hard Rock app was calling to him like the fucking Green Goblin mask in the press box.
I when like throwing it in the text, I'm like, can I put it in the group text? I'm like, man, it's probably not a great idea, so I didn't do it. But
Please, someone bet for me, please.
So
someone bet
just to
this Lord.
recap, Seth, who is not on the pod here tonight, 6-0 going into this game. Nathan's 4-2, Steeg 5-1. We're going based off of Hard Rock because that's where most people can bet in the
Are they
state of Florida.
sponsored? Are they sponsoring us
they-
yet?
They should.
Honestly,
Golly.
they talk about gambling more than we did.
USF minus 21.5. The over under is 72.5. Collin as a special guest. What's your pick? You either or.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out team total right now. So it's 72.5 at Hard Rock. It is 73.5 to 74.5 everywhere else. So keep that in mind. If you want over, Hard Rock is the best place to get over right now. I am looking at team totals, and I'm looking for a team total here. The projected team total on that would be what? What's 72 divided? So 36, 40. Team total.
On mine, it's 47.5 for
47?
USF and 24.5 for Florida Atlantic.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. Bulls over. Team total over. That's seven touchdowns. Okay. We can get 7 touchdowns out of these people. So yeah, I'm going team total over.
Steve?
Top to hammer the over. I think honestly between these two offense, the funny part is I've been stewing on this for a little bit of like eventually all these high flying offenses are gonna just like meet their maker at some point and like just we're gonna get into like a 21-15 slog fest. But that ain't happening on this one. I like 72.5, I feel like it's still too low with USF's offense and whoever they play. Like they score so quickly, and the other team get like when we play Navy, yeah, we're gonna hammer their under. But like 72.5 with two offenses that love to fucking throw the ball and score. Yeah, over 72.5. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's value there too.
Seth is going USF in the points, so USF minus 21.5. And I'm gonna follow suit. FAU ain't it. USF is. Even though like the guys who pissed this team off aren't there anymore, I think they're still gonna grind them into the dirt. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. They'll actually get to see the grass at Ray J, and they're gonna eat it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
It's you know what? Just take a moment this week when you're with your family, when you're with the tailgate, when you're walking into the stadium, whatever. Appreciate the fact that your Bulls are 5-1, most likely to be 6-1 after Saturday. You're ranked 19th in the country. Now think about what Jeff Scott did to you. Think about what Skip Holtz did to you. Think about what Charlie Strong did to you. You waded through this.
Are we trauma?
You stuck it out. What?
I
was trying to like I was totally going for it. You blew it. You blew my whole speech. Our whole speech played out. Like I was going for like the full minister thing. You know what I mean? And you just like blew it. Anyway, take a moment this week and appreciate this football team right now, this university right now, and all the shit we had to go through to get here. And this is just the beginning. Bandwagon's open, bitches. Let's go.
Thanks for tuning in.
I'm sorry, my body was having a visceral reaction to seeing those names.
Thanks for tuning in to Pod by the BAE. Make sure you subscribe to the Ponderosa. $10 a month on Patreon gets you a whole bunch of stuff, all the film rooms, all of the interviews that we do. We recorded about 45 minutes with the new CEO of athletics, Rob Higgins. We talked everything from the football team, him getting the job.
We talked food. We talked food.
Food places around Tampa. He made fun of me. He made fun of Collin. We got his official named Bobby. rankings.
Probably.
I mean, everything's in there. Make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, so we can send people like Collin, like myself, to away games. Collin will be in Memphis in 2 weeks. He was at UNT. We're going to run the gamut this year. So make sure you like, subscribe, tell all your friends. But thanks for tuning in to Pod by the Bay, proudly presented by HomefieldApparel.com. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls, baby.
Go Bulls!